Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode I Don't Know. I don't know if you hear a woman yelling in my background. I don't really know what to say about that. And if you hear music outside, I don't really know what to say about that. But I do know that the lady yelling, I may or may not be related to her, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay. And for my security, I have to put in my PIN because I haven't been at home this entire time. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this very quickly. You know, I'm on my little sketchy. My eyebrows look amazing. I just wanted to let you all know. So I watched last week's episode yesterday. Wasn't hidden for shit. Watched this episode today. Last week's episode, I will not talk about the entire thing because I couldn't hear. The audio was horrible. Okay, the audio was horrible for that entire episode. Some of the high moments or highlights, it's extremely edited. You tried to act like Miles said, I don't know, when Pastor Cal asked him did he want to stay with homegirl, when he clearly was going to say something after that. Then we have this whole thing of Amani saying she's ready to tell homeboy that she loves him, but you know, half of the time she had braids in the episode, then half of the time she didn't have braids, and it's weird because, like, what, you know, I happen to be a black woman, and there's no, unless it's a wig, you know, a braided wig, but I don't think that it is. So, you know, there's no possible way that she had braids for, you know, half of last week's episode and didn't have braids. They had a little bit of issues with, you know, DMs or whatever. Miles is really not annoyed, but Miles needs some affection, and he needs some affection, you know, from Karen, and he needs Karen to show that she wants to be affectionate with him. Henry and Christina, they don't really talk while they're in the house. Christina said that she was going on a walk, and then she went out with her friends. I guess she walked all the way to be with her friends. I look yellow, do I not? A little bit. Whatever, I still look cute. Then I think he said he had contacted some of the other wives to, you know, see her Instagram or something, he said. And he saw that she was out with friends, didn't answer his text messages. He didn't understand why she had to say she was going for a walk. She could have just said, hey, I'm going out, you know. But that's a little weird. Brett and Olivia, you know, they are not anymore together, I guess. Maybe next episode they'll be together. I do want to do I do want to do like a after decision day update type deal situation when all of this is over, because Brett is on Reddit, and he be on Reddit, you know, like commenting on stuff. I went through like his page, and I was like, who is this man talking about? No, that was me going to the bathroom. So I checked out. It's Brett. I don't know if it's officially Brett, but he's been commenting on a lot of stuff. I guess he's been verified because people, you know. So does that mean... Now, I don't really have a lot of subscribers, so Brett probably wouldn't find my YouTube video. But, you know, if he did, then hey, what's up, Brett? How are you? You and Olivia didn't need to be together. So yeah, you know, the timeline was a little crazy. Brett did say, you know, him moving out, it was just him going to work, considering that he had his bag, and also that his cat was still at the apartment. Yeah, I wasn't really able to hear a lot of the conversations because, like I said, the audio was bad. My grandmother was on speakerphone talking to my aunt, and so they were both loud, and you know, I wasn't gonna go upstairs and find my headphones. I just wasn't gonna do it. But yeah, A big revelation that happened at the end of the episode was Christina saying that she had received a text message from someone stating that he and Henry had a relationship and that Henry was gay. Okay. This was after Henry had brought up that, he had told Pastor Cal that he sees a pattern of dishonesty, and Pastor Cal was like, you need to tell her. He had told her. And then this episode, I didn't remember 11 weeks ago Christina saying, yeah, sometimes I used to just lie when I was younger. Well, ma'am, you know how, like, you shouldn't say stuff because when you say it, then people believe you. So, like, when you say, I used to lie about things, I feel like Henry's going to be like, oh, well, she's a liar. That's a little weird. Anyway, moving on. This week's episode, Amani goes to see Olivia. Olivia's obviously leaving the experiment because she asked Brett, did he want to work on the marriage? And he said, no thanks. Now, I went on Reddit. They said that it was edited, so he may have said more, but honestly, last week's episode was a piece of trash. The editing was so bad, like, bro, I'm just annoyed. Anyway, so we see Woody. He goes to see Henry. Henry says that Christina hasn't been there, so they haven't been able to talk. Henry says that it speaks volume that she made up a story about his sexuality, and then they show the clip of Christina saying that, she used to lie, and I was like, that's not really a good look. We see Karen. She says that she doesn't really want to go on the couples retreat, but she needs a little bit of downtime. This is like very close because they're talking about police brutality. They're also talking about the pandemic. But I'm like, whoa, this is like really, like, they like what? Really close. And I think I don't know when Decision Day is. I don't know if Decision Day already happened. I'm pretty sure it did. Or did it? I don't know. Anyway, we see Christina. Christina says that, things have been a little rocky ever since she said it. She doesn't think that he's gay, but she did say it out of anger so she can understand where he's coming from. Like I said, Henry asked her to see the text message. She didn't have the text message. Henry says that he thinks that she made up him being gay so she could come to terms with him not, falling all over her and wanting to have rampant sex with her. So, they all sit down. That food. Who put that whole stick of butter in that pan? Do you know how much butter is? How many calories butter is? Come on. I had some crab legs yesterday, some crawfish, a little piece of sausage, and some potato wedges. And, that was like really out of my comfort zone. Not my comfort zone. I love me some crab legs. But that was really out of my calories. And I went 400 over my calories, which is fine. I'm not, I'm still skinty. But I had 38 grams of butter and it was 351 calories. Like, come on, let's stop the track. And I had more butter and I didn't track it. Henry says it as expected. Christina is acting like nothing happened. Then they have breakfast. They talk about Bennett and Amelia and their relationship. Or, I'm sorry, they talk about Brett and Olivia. Miles is very honest with how he's feeling about being here and, being a black person and the fact that, things ain't just going to be so happy for me because, I understand what's going on, in life. Bennett yells out way before this, that him and Amelia had sex. So they're all very happy for them. Christina says that she's very happy to be there, and Henry chuckles because he said, oh, for real? So, Bennett is being Bennett. He's doing the worm very badly and eating off a whisk. I've never seen anyone eat off a whisk, but honestly, if it work, it work. I ain't really gonna hold the man. Amani asks Henry about his personal growth. He tries to deflect the question. He just says a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but he's just determined to see it through. Christina says that she wants to be with someone who wants to be with her. You know, Miles asked Karen what would she need to say yes on decision day, or, you know, to, I can't remember. I think it was say yes on decision day. And she says have these genuine conversations. Where was Karen and Woody when they were doing the group? I'm sorry. That was like, I just want to know, like, where were they? Why? I'm not saying no, you know, but I just, you know, where were they? I thought that they'd show them doing something together, you know, so she could get insight on her husband from his best friend, but I don't know where they were. You know, they could have been doing some work. I don't know, but it was just kind of weird that they weren't there and that nobody was like, oh, well, you know, Karen is off napping or something. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so not everyone writes letters to their younger selves. Amelia and Bennett, Christina and Henry, they are the only ones that do. Amelia was very disappointed, or not very, but she was disappointed in Bennett's letter. She thought it would be a little bit more romantic, but Bennett was serious. Bennett was talking about that holographic Charizard that he gave to his friend that would be worth $20,000 right now. Come on, that's a little hurtful. I understand where Amelia was coming from, but also I understand where Bennett is coming from. $20,000 that I could have in my bank account at this month. Anyway, moving on. So we see Christina. She's writing her letter. She talks about the things that happened in her past. And I'm not going to say it was a little contradictory, but it was a little contradictory of, you know, how she was, it seems as though she is holding on to the past, but when Henry was talking about, you know, how things in his past enabled him to be this way, you know, not so confident as he could be, you know, she was like, just get over it. So it's a little confusing to me. Christina says that Henry's letter was very Henry-like. I don't really know what that means, and she was confused as well. Woody and Amani talk. He says that he likes that they went through hard conversations because it seems like they're closer than the other couples. He asks her what would make her say no on decision day. She says that if he would have a character shift. Woody says that if she was going back to, you know, feeling how she felt at the beginning, just unsure of his motives, then that would make him want to pull away. And if he wasn't able to communicate as easily as he can with her, he wouldn't want to be with her. So the ladies talk about something, the men talk about something. Who cares? This is when, and I'm back. So the ladies and the men talk about something. This is when Woody and Karen were not there. Christina says that she doesn't really know Henry and it hasn't been that much communication, and she just feels that Henry goes along with whatever she's saying. And one thing I do have to say, one thing I do have to say about last week's episode is Christina will just talk and talk and talk. When they were sitting on that couch having that discussion, and she was like, I just don't know, and he was like, he was trying to say something and she was just talking. Just talk. Anyway, Henry then turns around and says that Christina has been dishonest, you know. She says that she doesn't think that he's wrong for her, just things have been rocky. Okay, whatever. Bennett is a little bit confused as to what Henry is saying, but the gist of it is that he gets that there was a situation and that Henry wants to just work past it. Okay, so Bennett and Amelia play basketball and Woody and Miles go off to talk. Miles talks about his, you know, intimacy issues with Karen, and that it's very hard to be with someone forever or think about being with someone forever without having sex. And then the couples play Stranger's Spouse. It was really fun. I wish I could, you know, talk more about it, but then the loudness started and I wasn't really able to hear as much as I wanted to. Henry and Christina, at first they was running through them questions. Okay, they were really running through them questions. Apparently Karen and Miles won. They had 26. Woody and Amani had 21. Bennett had and Amelia had 6, and Henry and Christina had 11. What else can I say about this episode? I think that was like literally it. You know, I did run through this episode a little quickly. It was a change of pace from last week's episode, because let me tell you something, them slow-mo shots of them sitting on the couch, like, we know, like, how much slow-mo you gonna get for somebody sitting on the couch? Anyway, I'm done. I'm a little bit behind my schedule, so, you know, I'm gonna get off of here. If y'all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or visit my website. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.